Welcome. In this video, we're going to be talking about topic 5, which is inductive and deductive reasoning. And the follow-up video is going to be going through the laws of logic. So first, we need to look at inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning is going to be the process of using patterns or specific examples to make general conclusions. So what we're doing when we're using inductive reasoning is we're taking small samples and making a conclusion and applying that to larger samples. All right. We need to know the difference between truth versus validity. Truth is something we know is accurate or true. Validity is something that follows the rules of logic and is logically sound. Inductive reasoning is not a valid form of proof. We are using patterns and examples to make general conclusions. That is not logically sound. Let's look at some examples. 25 people in a row bought a can of tuna fish at the grocery store. So the next customer will buy a can of tuna fish. So we had the pattern of 25 people in a row buying tuna. So then we can conclude that the next customer will buy a can of tuna. Maybe the customer will buy tuna. Maybe not. That is why inductive reasoning is not logically sound. Right? Let's look at another example. A Washington football team fan claims that the team will win the Super Bowl. So all fans of Washington football team believe that the teams will win the Super Bowl. All right. This is another pattern. So one Washington football team fan claims that they will win the Super Bowl, and that means that the next person will as well. Again, maybe they believe it, maybe they don't. That is why this inductive reasoning is not logically sound. Stereotypes follow the rules of inductive reasoning. And so that means that stereotypes are logically invalid or not logically sound. The second type of reasoning that we have is deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning is going to be a step-by-step process that uses general principles or our laws of logic and previously known facts to then make conclusions about specific cases. So we're going to be using facts and a process and taking a generalization to then conclude something about a small sample. All right? Deductive reasoning uses logical reasoning, which means that it is a valid form of proof. It is logically sound. All right. Now let's move on to our conjectures and counterexamples. A conjecture is an educated guess based on known information. All right, so for example, our known information is that a Washington football team fan claims that the team will win the Super Bowl. To make that into a conjecture, we would then say that all Washington football team fans believe that the team will win the Super Bowl. And that brings us into counterexamples. Counterexamples is an example that disproves your conjecture. So we want just one specific example that will disprove our conjecture of all Washington football team fans believe that the team will win the Super Bowl. And an example for that is that Mr. Good does not believe that the Washington football team will win the Super Bowl. That is one specific sample. It only takes one counterexample to disprove a conjecture. All right, so that is our video for the types of reasoning. The follow-up video we'll go into our two types of deductive reasoning, which we're going to talk about the law of detachment and the law of syllogism.